is an asset? And what is asset management? Do I even have any assets? Have you ever thought about what assets you have? Maybe it's come up in conversation or your accountant has asked you. You've never really understood what this means. And maybe you felt a little embarrassed to ask for a clear explanation. By understanding what an asset is and what kind of assets there are, it will help you with further growth of your wealth and help you to invest in your future. So whether you're ready now or planning for when you will be, in today's video I'm going to share with you the definition of an asset, examples of common assets, how to choose which assets you should consider, and how to calculate your net worth. And there's a great Ask Claire question on inheritance at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. Hi, I'm Claire, money coach and qualified financial advisor. For the last 14 years, I've been working in the financial services sector and I run a successful financial services business. I'm here to help you walk into wealth, enriched, empowered and excited. I've built my dream life and now I'm going to help you to build yours. And remember, if you have any questions, to post them below, because at the end of each video I answer one viewer's question. Okay, let's get on with today's show. In a nutshell, assets are things you buy with your cash, so your earnings or savings, which will then grow over time in value or provide you with an income or both. Because as we all know, cash sitting in a bank account earns next to no interest these days, which means its buying power decreases over time due to inflation. So for short-term savings, like your tax bill, your holiday or a new car, saving your money is fine. But to have something of value in the future, you're going to want to invest it in assets. And there's a massive choice of things out there. Many people aim to own their own home, a property that will provide a place to live, security of a home and increase in value over time. This is an asset, but remember, the true value of your asset is the bit of your house that isn't mortgaged, the equity, which will increase over time as your house price goes up and you repay your borrowing. We're almost halfway through. You probably have some questions, so ask in the comments below. And while you're there, I would love you to share if you keep a track of your assets and if you find it useful. I do, I've got a spreadsheet, but you don't need anything complicated. What assets might you have? Investing in stocks or shares or collective funds like those in a pension or investment ISA are also assets. Over the long term, their value tends to increase, and some of them pay dividends which you can take as income, often tax-free, or reinvest to get further growth. Rental property. So providing good quality, safe housing for tenants can be really rewarding and help keep vulnerable people away from slum landlords. It can provide you with a semi-passive income and an asset that can increase in value over time. Things like antiques, classic cars, wine, gold, or any other commodity that increases over time is also an asset. But the combination of these that works best for you will depend on your plans for the future. So how do you choose which assets will work best in your portfolio? You want to choose ones that fit with your lifestyle and ambitions for the future. If you want to be a digital nomad and work freely around the world, you may or may not want money tied up in property where you cannot access it easily if your needs change. If you want the security of a family home with alpacas in the garden, your view might be a little different. I swear by a vision board to really focus in on my goals and plans, big or small. I'm very scientifically minded, but even I have been swayed by the power of a good vision board. It's a really strong representation of your hopes and dreams, and I would really recommend that you do one if you haven't already. It will help you choose which assets you should work to build. If you find you have lots of pictures representing freedom with scenic views or places to travel, property may not be the first choice for you. Equally, like me, if your board evokes feelings of stability and security with beautiful houses and gardens, then property could be a good way to go. If you already have a decent sized pension pot, you may want to consider ISAs so that you're not creating any more taxable income. Remember, income from an ISA is tax-free. And if you invest in writing a book or creating other intellectual property, you may be able to create an asset you can sell and have a way of drawing income from your business many years into the future. So growing your assets simply means growing the wealth you keep hold of rather than increasing the amount you earn. Because let's face it, if you earn £100,000 a year, in 10 years' time, you'll want to look back and have something to show for that £1,000,000 that you earned. I hope you're finding this information useful. If you are, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you get notified when the next video goes live. There's a well-known saying that what you focus on will increase, and it's never more true than when it comes to money. But wealth isn't all about how much money you earn. There is so much more to it than that. A great starting point is to first understand your net worth, which is a measure of the money and assets you currently have. By keeping track of your net worth over time, you can check that you are building assets and accumulating some degree of wealth rather than just making money and spending it. If you take the value of the assets that you own, minus any money that you owe on them, like mortgages, car finance and credit cards, the figure you have left is your net worth, which is the thing that you need to look at growing. There is no point earning more if you just spend more on more stuff. You don't get anywhere. But by earning more and then organising your money so that you pay less tax and have more surplus each month, you will free up money to invest in growing your assets. So grab a piece of paper and add up your net worth, just an estimate. Is it what you thought? Remember to add up the current value of properties you own, money in savings, pensions or ISAs, and any money that you've had sat in a savings account or premium bonds for the last 10 years that you can't quite remember what you're meant to be doing with. These are your assets. Now list out your liabilities. You can get up-to-date balances from your banking apps or from your credit report online. I encourage my clients to put theirs in a spreadsheet, and then each month or quarterly we update the figures so that they can track their increasing net wealth. You can do this as your own personal assets or as a joint household, but I'm extremely passionate about women having assets in their own name and growing their own wealth, because this brings security, and that means in the future, when you choose to work less hard, let's not even call it retirement now, you have ways that you can supplement your income and money that is your own. This will help you maintain your standard of living and have fun with your money and the life you really want to. So when I say assets, I really mean lasting wealth. Maybe I'll look to use that term moving forward. Okay, time for today's Ask Claire question, which comes from Claudia. I have an unexpected inheritance and I'm not sure what to do with it. I'd like to buy a property to live in, but should I invest in a buy-to-let instead? Well, the answer is that depending on how much money you've inherited, you might even be able to do both. A residential property will give you somewhere secure to live and mean that you don't spend thousands on rent each year, which effectively is paying someone else's mortgage. A rental property will provide you with an income which you need to declare and pay tax on, so it will depend on how much you've got coming in from other sources, but it could be seen as a source of semi-passive income, providing you get good tenancy. Have a think about what would make most sense to you, and if you're not sure how the numbers stack up, contact your financial advisor who can help you work it out. I hope this has helped you to take one step closer to that life you really want, so keep watching.